spinning. Alright, looks like that is up. You can see it on YouTube. Alright, looks like that is alright, I can hear Twitch. Come on. Oh, two. Alright, looks like perfect. Heard 3 voices, all of them me. Excellent. Alright. Hello everyone. I am Quaz Aldira. This is my stream. I am learning, well, ZBrush and Blender because I want to make game characters for my game. And I have made this rig of a creature called a Zebawelb. It's kind of a, I'll say, a cavern-dwelling demon. It's going to be a higher-ranked enemy in a game that I hope to make called Accept Nothing Less. So made this basic version of his sculpt in ZBrush, and then I exported it to, exported it to Blender. Gave him a basic rig with Rigify. Learned a Rigify tutorial from CG Dive, which has actually served me quite well, and now I'm learning how to animate him. I have made, so far, 1 second of animation from my last stream. I've been kind of busy, so let's take a look. Look at that. Soon I'll be able to replace all my Dragon Z sculpts with images, or maybe even the little clips of his video. But I hope to get a little bit further than I did last time. I was kind of figuring things out. I think I finished making the animation. I just added a basic sun for lighting because the render was all dark when I tried to make his video. Oh gosh, this is so cool. It's not perfect or anything, but I just love him so much. Alright, I'm gonna turn off the render for right now. Let's exit the camera. I want to say that's like a, I don't know if I'll actually even use that animation. I'll probably come up with something else, though I feel like making exaggerated poses should be what I'm going for. Let's see what's up there. Alright, so feel like for the next frame of animation, be on frame 27, and I'm gonna move him up, clear his, I'm not in pose mode, go to pose mode, gonna clear oh, I think I need to select everything. Oh, that still doesn't do it? That's weird. Well, I have to move everything the way I want it. Just me, or did his body move a lot more forward than that base there? Okay, I think if I want to move everything, yeah, I want to move it like this. I'm gonna see, I think I want him to do a bite attack. So what I'll probably end up doing first is moving the camera somewhere else once I've got the animation down, and just have him do a simple bite. Probably be reminiscent of a T-Rex, because a T-Rex was definitely one of the biggest inspiring factors. Actually, do I have him in a base transform state? Oh, that's going to... Alright, so I need to change my approach for this one. Because I don't want him to be rolling forward for these frames. I just want him to be in a new position. I feel like there is a way around that. I could create a new scene, I think. Let's see, what are my options here? It's gonna take a bit for me to get started on actually doing things because I mean, I understand the behavior, but I don't want him to just immediately... Okay, I want him to be in a new spot so I can start a different perspective for a different thing he's going to do. I don't think any of these are gonna do what I want. I could do this. Make sample frames everywhere and then start animating, but I feel like that causes some issues when you go to remove them again. It's like, once you do that, you don't want to go back through it. And I might just play my little animation while I go look this up. Interesting. How did I move the camera before? It's not letting me. Select it now? What happened? You know. Oh, one day you'll have materials. Alright, I'm gonna go silent for a second. Yeah, well, I put a mute button on there. Or maybe it wants me to download something now. I guess I'll have to do that next time.
If you don't know anything about 3D character animation and want to become a pro at it, well, you found the right video. Today we're going to be taking you from complete noob to look out Pixar, here I come. Welcome to a new CG Geek tutorial. My name is Steve, also known as Steve Lucci. And because you guys voted for it, today we're going to be learning the basics of character animation and the fundamentals of how to animate characters inside of Blender, because Blender's free and awesome. And as you guys know, since I'm like the best at animation, why not? Maybe I don't want to put that in my demo reel. And also, I'm excited to announce the new CG Geeks Discord server where all of us geeks are hanging out, answering questions, getting critique on our finished projects like animations, for example. So if you want to hang out with me along with thousands of other cool CG artists, go ahead and follow that link in the description to the Discord, and I'll see you over there. The 3D character models that we'll be animating today is from the Blender Cloud. There's actually 2 really cool models that you can download on the Blender Cloud. There's Rain and then there's Vincent. These are completely free, finished models that are ready to go for animation. So go ahead and download one of these 2 models. There'll be a link below. And actually, character creation has been something I've wanted to do on the channel for a long time. It's just kind of hard prioritizing what to do next. But if you want to see that sooner than later, leave a like on the video to let me know. Oh, what is this? 80% of you guys aren't subscribed? That's just a little hurtful. If you guys want to make my day, smash that subscribe. On exciting topics like illustrating. Yep, the first 1,000 users to join with my link in the video. Sure which button I'm pressing. I have the screencast keys set up down here so you can see what button timeline. So I'm just going to grab the corner window here and pull it up to make a new window, and I'll change this window over to the animation timeline right here. And as you can see, we now have a timeline. This will show us what frame we're at, so where we are in our animation. Really necessary for doing any sort of animating in Blender, and it can also do some basic keyframe editing inside the timeline, which is again really necessary. So to jump right into how keyframing works in Blender, on frame 1 here, I'm just going to grab the foot bone there, and we'll just pull it up so it's like in a stepping position there. And if I hit I, this will allow me to insert a keyframe. So I can choose location rotation right there. And as you can see, we now have a orange diamond marking that there's a keyframe on frame 1. And if I scroll through, you'll see that there's no animation because you need more than 1 keyframe to have motion. So let's go ahead and add 1 more keyframe, just scrolling through our timeline to frame 20. Here I'll grab the foot, pull it down to the ground somewhere like that. And then if I hit I and choose location rotation 1 more time, I'll insert a second keyframe. And now if I scrub through the timeline, you can see we have our first character motion. And like I said, here you can do some basic keyframe adjustments then by grabbing that keyframe and moving along the timeline if you want to take more frames to complete the action, or maybe less frames to complete the action to make it happen faster. And this is the way you do your basic keyframe editing. If you want to do more advanced keyframe editing, you're going to want to split your window here and switch this one over to the animation dope sheet. Here, if I zoom in a little bit and drop this down, you can see we have control over a lot more of the keyframes on this. So there's a keyframe for every different axis in 3D. And here, if I zoom in a little bit, slide it over, you can see that I can move a keyframe for just the X rotation, for example. Or maybe I want to move just the Z location keyframes. This is for kind of keyframe tweaking, and we're going to do that for retiming your animation. Now, every time you do any sort of keyframing in Blender, it's automatically done on a linear curve. This means that as the animation progresses, if I pull this out just a little bit here, you're going to see that it starts off slow, speeds up in the middle, and then comes to a slow stop. And this is because it's on a curve. And you can see this if you switch over from the dope sheet to the graph editor. You can see on our animation here that we have it laid out as a curve. If I just adjust our handle here to zoom that in a little bit. And this is going to be how you tweak your animation to get more of the right motion and speed that you want. So for example, if you didn't want this to come to a slow resting stop, but more of a stomp, you would grab the handle here for the Z location. So as you can see, the Z location is selected right there. And if you didn't want the other axis visible, you can just turn them off with these eyeballs. So let's turn off the rotation because we don't need those right now. And if I grab this handle and rotate it to be a sharp point at the end, now you'll see that it comes down fast. Boom, boom. You might want to do the same thing for these other keyframes. Just make sure they come down to a harsh stop. And that's going to be more like your foot stops to the ground. And if I pull this keyframe and make it happen a little bit faster, you can see, boom, you have it come to a stop instead of come to a gradual stop. And this is how you would tweak the keyframe animation. Now, actually, what we're going to be doing today is starting with animation blocking. This is sort of going through and every second or so in your animation hitting a key pose, and then coming back and adding the in-between frames later. This is the process that professionals use to hit the key poses that they want in an animation, and then you'll work on the in-between frames to polish that animation later. So to do this, though, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to change this from a linear curve to a constant curve. And you can do that by just hitting the T key if you're in the timeline here. Hit the T key and choose an interpolation of constant. Make sure all your keyframes are selected when you choose constant, and you'll see that it's now a sharp change. So this is just going to change from one pose to the next pose. And this is the process of animation blocking, and that's what we're going to start off doing for our character animation. So now we know the basics of adding keyframes and adjusting the timing and speed of the keyframes. We're ready to actually do some cool character animating inside of Blender. So for starters, what you're going to need is reference, reference, or reference. Animation reference is basically the most important part of animating. And even the most professional of professionals will use video reference before going to animate something because it's really impossible to imagine what a natural human movement would look like without first visualizing it and seeing some reference of it actually happening. So either go ahead and take a video clip of yourself acting like an idiot in your backyard for some character animation reference, or if you'd rather use something that's already out there online, there's a ton of great character animation reference available online and on YouTube. One of my favorite references for animation is Kevin Perry's 100 Ways to Walk video, where he does all kinds of different ways humans will walk. It's great for character reference as it's kind of exaggerated movements, which is perfect for 3D animation and what we're going to be using today actually. So I recommend picking one of the reference walks in his video for your animation today, and we're going to be going ahead and blocking out some of this animation. Another video that I recommend checking out for some good reference along with a lot of animation tips. If you're getting into 3D animation, this is still a really great video to watch as there's tons of tips and techniques that will translate over to 3D animation and be super useful. So with your reference video on hand, you're ready to start character animating inside of Blender. If you want to match your character animation exactly, you can actually add it in as a background image in 3D space by going Shift A and then adding in an image background right there as you can see. But I don't want to match this animation exactly, I'm just going to be using it closely as reference. So what I'm going to do is start by clearing these keyframes by going X and deleting keyframes, and then if you hit Alt R and Alt G, it will reset the rig to its original pose, which is exactly what we want. And I'm going to go ahead and close off our extra tab here for animation because we'll use that later on for tweaking our animation. So the animation cycle that I'm going to be animating today is the skip, just because it's a bit more interesting and emotive than a basic walk. And what you're going to do is you just want to scrub through it real slow in the skip. We're just going to hit 3 to jump.
Alright, hopefully I understood what was going on. So according to him, change the keyframe interpolation to constant. But this may require selecting all my frames and may actually affect the animation I have here. So I feel like since I do have this file saved and already set and have a copy of the animation, it would probably be beneficial to actually just delete all this and make a new save file to just continue with the next animation I want to make, if it's going to do what I think it is and erase all the curve data that is currently there. So let's go to the 27 second. try and reset its pose data. Okay, Alt R doesn't work because apparently NVIDIA is taking that action. Cool, NVIDIA. That's super cool. I like you. Let's see. Okay, that wasn't too hard. Now he's back in his base pose. Yeah, that looks super off. If I set that to constant, will that fix this? Now that foot's still sliding a weird way. So it may be, like I said, I may just have to do the animation differently until I can figure out the way to properly not have this happen. Which is a shame because it would have been nice to just have it all in sequence without having to switch files. But I will have to learn that later. Because I do not know the right question to ask. I'll have to go on Reddit. Alright. Instead, have let's need to delete everything. Okay, looks like every keyframe is gone. Camera's still moving, but that's fine. We can fix that later. I want to deselect it though. Alright. Then we're going to reset his transform datas. Cool. We can do that now that there are no poses. Alright. It's gonna move him a bit forward. Expand this so I have two places where I'm watching stuff. Just this so I'm a little closer to all this. Wow. Pull my keyboard out so I can actually see the keys when I get confused. Alright. Zebawelb. Gonna need several poses. Hopefully, well, actually, I should select all of his bits. That it's a constant. And I'm actually going to give a generous amount of frames because there's something I want to test. Actually, give it a Bezier curve. Going to move them twice. Now what I want to do is see if there is a way to scale this. Okay, so it does seem to allow scaling, so I may be able to use that to my advantage when animating. I feel like the way I want to go forward is, instead of trying to use really small frames of time, I'll just start with really big frames of time, get the key poses in, and then decide, hey, this motion should be quick and snappy, budget up, and then hopefully the animations that should take longer will be closer to the place they need to be and will require less edits. And it might make it easier to focus on different parts. Alright, so let's delete these keyframes I'm not going to use. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. So I think I said I was going to start with him biting, so I think I'm going to turn on symmetry. Just have his hands in a basic position. Do some minor rotating and stuff. Why you gotta be weird, tentacle preset? Why you gotta bend like that? Ew, how do I want his posture to be? Have them all stanced out. Back so I can look at the feet. Interesting. I've given him weird legs. I'll admit this. Look at these. Right now, it looks normal. He's got a tiny little body. He's mostly hidden limbs. Then I'm probably gonna have him do something like rah. Have him open his jaw, shake around, maybe slap the ground with his paws. do some thinking. Now he's gonna have this frame for all of time. So weird. Okay, it looks like all the rotations do the exact same thing. Thanks, harm presets. I guess it kind of makes sense. Wait a minute, Z actually pushes them down. R. Y just moves the elbows? Or does it affect the shoulders? I'm collecting information here. Wait a minute. What was I doing earlier than move the hands up and down? Or was that? Okay, it was Z. Cool. Have them all scrunched up. Go. Bleh. Maybe have his feet. They're lifted by this. Oh, no, 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 that's not right. I think this is what I want. Or is it this? Is that a good bend? Hard to say, hard to say. So I do have control here. Interesting how that works. I mean, I feel like these can slightly bend. Airframe. I gotta. Yeah. Apparently, I do it by selecting it twice. Deselect them all by selecting nothing. Select these. Adjust them. Don't pierce the ground. Cool, cool. Alright, let's work on the arms again. Space pose is relatively important. Because right now the hands are doing what the feet were doing a minute ago. Sinking in. Look at their general position. Feel like that would be an uncomfortable resting position for his wrists. Where are the plates? Alright, let's adjust the fingers. Slightly. Solid so I can get the aerial view how I want. It's unlike the toes, which were I purposely put under the ground. I feel like it's not so necessary with these. Quite touching each other. What happened here? Why is this so far away? I like the idea of him putting his weight down. He's about to deliver a powerful roar that's going to shake his body. That's kind of what I'm going for right now. But of course I'm going to try and fix up his hands later. Those, the gap between the thumb and index-like finger is kind of weird. Darn, not a soda. That'll be for later. Okay. think I've got the position I want his body to be in. Then I'm going to do a small edit to his body, so that is it's going to do a short breath, maybe tense up his fingers a little, and then he's going to deliver a roar for a few seconds, open his mouth wide, and then just shake about as he's turning his head, going for that big old T-Rex roar. So let's choose an arbitrary number of frames, say 12, and start a new keyframe. So we have auto keyframes selected. This should let's see, I don't want to go that direction. Oh, that is kind of cool. Not certain it would work exactly like that. He just leans forward in a weird way. Like his neck is tearing apart. Oh gosh. That might be a bit extreme for his model. Not what we're going for. Alright, so okay, I feel like the motion should mostly be in his chest. He's going to breathe up. What's this do? Kind of weird. Okay, so rear is up a little. No, that might actually be a little extreme. Rears up a little. Lowers his head. I thought I told it to. Constant. To do this for each new frame. Steam, no. That's not what I meant to. Okay, so let's actually look up something. Because all he did was hover over here, press T, it's like constant. Options. I'm gonna have to consult some different things because what I'm following along with did not have this problem. Yeah. Just judge what we have. Oh, wait. I want it to be on this frame. Is it the wrong frame? But wait a second. Oh. I think I know what the problem is. So when I made that keyframe for this, it went over here, it only made a... There's not a keyframe for every part of its body here. Or at least that's how it seems? No, only the torso is missing its keyframe. What the heck? What is that keyframe type? Yeah, it's not automatically inserting a keyframe for the torso. Put one over there, or move the one I did have before. Is not really what I want. Do I have anything else selected? I should have had anything else selected. Did it just get removed from the timeline? I think I fixed that problem. I don't know why it was there. Okay, I think for the mouth, or jaw, as it is so named, I'm going to give it 2 frames. One where it slightly opens, one where it snaps back up. I think I'm actually going to give myself more time so I can accurately get these motions down. Let's select everything. It looks a little closer to what I want to capture. Taking a little brief. All right. And I just want to get some subtle motion in the hands and arms. Oh, by this frame. On the 26th frame. Good old frames from 26 to 20. 24, is it? Actually, let me think about this. So everything starts frame 1 for 12, and then 13 for 24. It should be right. If I consider the first frame as a base frame. Way to just move these frames. Did that move all my selected frames? Good, good. Alright. I think I'm ready to do some slight adjustments to the hands. Want them to come apart slightly, or that didn't seem to capture the rotation. What happened? What happened? They even rotate? Maybe you've had slightly more motion. Actually try and put the motion in the wrists and elbow. Okay. Okay, I had it on the wrong frame. What is this? Get back down there. Anything else? Anything else randomly on the 26th frame? Okay. Alright. Then I just want to slowly move like that. Alright. Next bit, I kind of want the fingers to slide up. Gonna raise each of his fingers. Whoa, 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 whoa. Who didn't move? Everyone should be moving. No, that's the wrong. I need to select this one to get the movement I want. That one's the hard one to see. And it also moves a little bit weirdly. There's my wrist. I guess this is. The hand's still on the ground. Base of the palms are still on. Arms slide back. His digits rise. What's going on with the thumb? I think it's just weirdness of that particular tentacle. I need to raise the second bit as well. Alright, let's make sure all of these are straight or just not too deformed away. Then the second oh goodness. This. Alright, anyone else got a random keyframe they want to share? I should really make sure I'm doing the right thing. Between motions. The rig not have a the root not have a keyframe there? His hands are going to snap down. Thinking. Alright, now I think the only thing that needs to happen is some small motion in the legs to so what do we want to move? Not bad. I feel like having these in the feet. Everything is moving into place for the big action to happen. He's going to spring forward and deliver his massive roar. Let's look at the chest. See if we can do anything there to make it look like he's breathing just a bit more. Whoops. It should be... Dang it! This keeps happening. Alright, who's out of sync? Oh. Okay. Then... I think it's this ring right here. It would look... No, that affects his neck. This is probably the one I should have been moving. But is there anything we can do to make his chest expand? This is where I would like to employ a size difference. So if I do it, it has to be small. Actually, give it a uniform scale. 1.05. that work? Okay, somehow thinking. So I applied. Okay, why are both of those selected? I only want to apply the scale to 1 frame in time, but applied it to 2 frames of time. Okay, so the problem right now is obvious. It only is shrinking for some reason when it should be like normal scale at the beginning, and then it moves up, expands with its taking its breath, and then as it closes its mouth, it should really close its mouth to exhale. If I had lip second maneuver, then I feel like that would be a bit clearer. So I think I'm gonna try and figure out the compression and decompression of the chest, and then make an adjustment to the mouth motions. But first, I'll be right back. Go to the restroom. Going to let this play for a minute as I go. Alright, I am back. Look who's back. So I feel like I got the right idea, but I have no idea why it only is expanding. I feel like it has something to do with both of these sections being highlighted, but okay. Okay, this has been edited, but no longer does anything there. Maybe it was because that was selected, and it shouldn't have been. Well, maybe I should just try a few things before saying, hey, it's too obvious or not. There it is again. For whatever reason, it's changing the scale of that beginning frame. Because look, now the hand is off its spot. Why is it editing that in two positions? I only had this spot selected. If I select this, am I able to clear out that transform? Okay. Puffs up his chest, then he decompresses. I don't like that the tail seems to increase size. Is the tail really increasing in size? Kinda hard to tell. Looks like it. And it's weird that it does that. I now put a shrink transform to prevent it from moving us so much, and then I cleared the shrink transform so it doesn't shrink when it gets back into position. I'm going to give it a small tweak in position. Or rotation. Okay, I think I need to adjust the motion of the legs. I feel like this should be in one place and not move. Like, I like that it rotates. I feel like it should be like where the feet are just pushing off of from. But what I want to achieve for better motion Okay, they got rid of most of the sliding. No, is not everything selected there? Why is it showing two endpoints? What didn't get moved? Or so. So I like the path of motion, but I feel like it's moving a little too much for a simple breath. So I either want to slow things down by scaling them up, or I want to cut back some of the motion. Let's try adding frames. We added a 1 frame, or 2 frames in total. I think what needs to be done is I need to edit the path of the breath. So let's go to action editor. No. Oh. Look at all this. I think I want to disable everything except the scale. Oh, that's weird. Look at him bob his hands. Okay. I'm not doing something right. There's got 2 bits of motion. Was it that I had both selected? I select just the scales. Where are... What is this? When is this? I don't know. Okay, let's assume this is the one I wanted. Nope. Highlighted it, but it's not selected. Block all the other channels. Or block them all. Unlock these. Okay. Don't like how I pick the curve. All I want to do, change the speed of the motion, not edit the actual data. Now I've just made it wide. I may need a consult with an expert on this. What I've seen in that video, what's happening, are not meeting my expectations. So I should be able to edit this just to tighten up that. I don't want to affect anything after it, or affect the actual scaling of anything. I just want to change the timing. Not that? Is it something else that I should be editing? Go back to dope sheet. Well, until I figure that out, I may just have to do something that I know how to do. I move the keyframes for the torso. Did that just generate new keyframes? But if we gave these a bit more breathing room. Then we match the movements of the jaw to this. That's not the jaw. This is the jaw. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this is just acting different for whatever reason. Or maybe I should just ditch the exhaling frames. I just have it hold in that breath. And instead of closing its mouth, maybe it closes its mouth slightly, and then continues taking in air without actually exhaling. If he's getting prepared to do a big roar, I don't think he wants to. Bruh. He was gonna more like go. I think it could work. Change of plans. Delete those keyframes. Then have a new keyframe on the jaw. Opening wider. Then just pops out. We'll remove the deflating and just slightly increase it further. Or we delete this frame to get rid of that complication. Just have him take in more air. Wait, what? Okay, now I'm confused. So I should have just pasted these keyframes there. Okay, breathes in. Breathes in a little bit more. And we edit the tail again. It doesn't really change size. Then we need to move the hands down again, probably. Because whenever his chest expands. this gets displaced. But I think I've got all the anticipation stuff down. And he's going to violently snap forward, lunge his head out, and go breh. It'll be big breh. This action shouldn't take all that long. But I'm gonna give myself a lot of time so I can shrink the scale of it back. So let's say 12 frames. Or I guess we're animating on 13s. Unless... what if I scale this up though? Up again. 14? What is this frame? Who got out of alignment? I'm curious if I can actually... this portion. Does that keep the expanding chest, or does that just delete it entirely? Yeah, I think it prevents the chest from expanding at all. Which is unfortunate. So I guess in future models, this is something I need to take into account for. Either create an extra spine segmentation so that the chest has a place to expand separate from the hindquarters. The wireframe. Yeah, which bone is this supposed to be? And of course, when I work on the model in the future, I will have a more complicated face rig to consider at the same time. So much is going to be going on at once. We won't have eyelids, so... but I believe he could have a brow here and maybe some small lip and nostril functions. Honestly, he'll probably still have a pretty simple face, and that's the only only two places. Oh yeah, and a tongue. He will need a tongue at some point. It's not just a vacant spot up there. I'm actually gonna write these notes down. That's for future model needs additional spine bump so chests can be expanded without spine bumps so chests can be extended without resupria. It's Botox. Essentially, that's what's happening. Tongue rig. Slight lip movement. And brows. Interesting thing about Zebawelb is it has a lot of different eyes. All these bumps are considered eyes. But it mainly uses these three. The ones on the top kind of just give it the ability to see things above it. And they're more of a rank thing rather than serving a function besides the main and side eyes. Gives it limited view behind it, but not all that much. Probably the most limited eyes. Alright, let's look at the animation again. I think I was supposed to make this go a full 28 seconds. Another strategy I could do is I could I could shorten everything back to 24 seconds to keep it on 24 as or 12s, and then just create a short moving frame in between. But I'm not gonna do that. Honestly, I'm probably spending a lot more time than I should on this because it's just gonna be a simple animation, just get a feel for things. So I feel like my next step is definitely going to be moving into the next pose. So let's just shoot for 12 frames out. So no, 10 frames. Actually, it might be good with 6. Just have it jolt forward with its arms and feet sinking into the ground, and it's just going to start growing. The frame after that, it's gonna go wow. Alright. Well, I want to see how it looks if it just closes its mouth. $34. The mouth closing would have to be even faster. Copy this. Paste it over here. Okay, instead of moving its mouth all the way down, I'm going to do this little mouth closing. Don't hide. Dang it. Okay, I feel like the appropriate motion is part of the hand. I'm going to swivel up here. To go down heavily here. No. Nope. Yep. It's going to dig in its claws. Thumb is obviously way off. What happened to you, Thumb? Okay, something didn't have a keyframe in the thumb before it snaps to that final position. That's disappointing. Oh, why has it gotta do it like that? Wait, where was Pinky's keyframes? Okay, something went terribly wrong with the Pinky. Now the thumb has a keyframe here. Pinky. Wait. This is weird. Guess there's one way to do it. Give it a basically a fake motion. This one didn't end up getting moved? That doesn't feel right. I feel like this is going to end up. Wait, why are you on that keyframe? Alright, everything again, let's look at it all. What? Oh. I don't like that got added. Get out of there. I just wanted to touch this. Okay, who doesn't have keyframes on 28? Neck does. Chest doesn't. What? One is chest. Or so. What do you know? I could have edited it like this all along. But it didn't look like it was working before. Oh dear. I've just been lost and confused this whole time. So I think the appropriate course of action maybe I should just keep that out because of what keeps happening. Yeah, now I won't have to deal with that anymore. Okay. Oh, well, let me delete that keyframe. Why? Let's look it up. You can see my dilemma here. This is exactly what the instructions told me to do. Oh, is it because I got some of them locked? Okay. Okay. Alright, that makes sense. wasn't making sense, and then I made it make sense. I'm gonna clear the transform data for that. And then let's do the same thing with a tail. Okay. Back to the jaw motions. So frame 12, chest is going to expand. At frame 12. That's not chest. That's weird. Then it should slowly expand with the jaw up until 28. Back to chest. Which apparently is this. This is crazy. Didn't expand at all. So I think the problem is there needs to be a pause in between the breath from frames 12 to 14. So back to the chest. Frame will sustain until exhales with the roar. Right, let's look at the animation now. Don't like how slowly the hands move into their spot. Feel like it should take less time. Now the hands are moving in different rates. The heck? You guys are supposed to move together. That's how this is set up. Should I decrease the size of the neck? Who's on frame 11? Okay. I feel like the neck, right there, should not expand with the chest. Or else my previous note that I made will actually have a point. Okay, that normalizes the movement of the neck. Did it flatline the breathing? I don't want the neck to expand. It's gonna take some tweaking between the two. If one grows, the other must fall. Alright, back to scaling the neck down. Ooh, animating takes a lot of time. This control. Nothing. Alright, back to the trickiest part. Getting the hand motions down. Yeah, I don't want them to move too far. Have any rotation? Like rotate the hand out. Then I want all the fingers to be able to punch down. Here there are frames in the first two slots for all the bits of the fingers that I want to move, yeah. We want frames in 28. Alright, everything should now be ready to move to 30. So the problem before was I couldn't get these to move. Wait. Okay, I think I only need to move the second half on. Some may require a little extra attention. Cleaning up the frame. I probably should implement more use of the move command for some of these things. Because going only by rotations, I feel like has limited me somewhat. Wait. By actually moving this up, I can actually do some interesting things. Now, where is that joint? Should be a joint in between. Did I hide it? Hidden, isn't it? There you are. Because I feel like it gets more of that claw feel when it does that suddenly. Okay, what's wrong with the pinky? Dang it. Huh. Was it just the angle? Well, it looks like it's bending down there. What was... But it's only doing it on the other one? Okay. Everybody go to near. The hell are you on? This one, whatever reason, didn't get its frame. Why? This has not been deactivated at any point. Aimed correctly. L02. Yeah, it's named right. Just didn't get any information. Did that fix it? By clicking R on the other side? I guess I need to be more drastic with the finger motions in the future because it looks like they're so static. And it's probably easier to just hold back on the toes. Did it really edit both of the frames just so there wouldn't be any motion in between them. Why the heck would it do that? Well, that's infuriating for reasons I don't quite understand. Something can cause one side of the animation not to get a keyframe. It's by editing frame on other side to see if it matches. Beware. Beware that sometimes a frame will just overwrite the base frame and become very confusing to tell apart. Things just slide together. Really? There was no need for this. Like, why? So wrong. Did it happen with the accompanying guys? No, it's because I edited this one. Alright, let's look at the full body again. I feel like the shoulders should roll forward. Just slightly. Cool motion. With that motion, I feel like its chest should pop up slightly. Oh, wait a second. That this piece of the spine doesn't have any frames. think it's too faint to even tell what's going on. And I feel like the feet are going to dig in. Hands will shake and jitter in their position as it just lunges forward and roars. Everything that doesn't have a keyframe is going to get a keyframe. Weird. Now I guess I can only do them one at a time. Thanks, Splendor. That just moves the timeline. Everything has a keyframe. What's a keyframe on, what's that? 29, that's weird. Is off kilter. Get on your kilter. Okay. There are some moments. You know what? I have done a lot of work. I'm going to save my file. Name this roar cycle. Got a few minutes left before I have to call it quits. Man. Animating is pretty cool, but also some of the problems I've been having are just ridiculous. Okay. So what is this? A difference of 4 frames. Going to move 4 frames into the future. to snap his neck forward. I think I'm going to lift the neck. Turn both parts of the neck. It's going to turn. And his jaw is going to unhinge wide. Kind of weird how it looks so offset. So rotate a little along the Y. The motion again. Feel like this controller is going to move forward. It's going to roll his full body forward. And his legs will push back slightly. I feel like going to hold is there a way to just extrude this? 50 and move forward slightly. Okay, something looks weird. Did this not have a frame before? Thought it just gave it a bit of movement, but it looks like it didn't move at all. Why are you doing the thing that you're doing? So that is my current problem. Current problem is the torso changes all of its keyframes instead of just the ones I needed to change. But I think this is a good stopping point for the night. Or for an extreme. Continue with more animation. Jostle as it roars and swivel its head and balance as it sweeps its roar. Alright. I feel like that's a good note to end on. Yeah, that'll look a lot snappier if its hindquarters are actually moving. It'll push forward with its legs as it goes. Bleh. It'll be fine. But let's save it as it is. And we'll continue next time. I've been Algebra, and this is me testing out animation in Blender. Until next time, where we finish the roar animation, and hopefully all this setup with the hands and stuff pays off. Until next time. Ta-ta!